Hello members, this is Leonard back with 2026 end of term 1 Premock examinations. As usual, we shall handle like the way we did last year, and we now go straight away to revision or corrections for end of term 1 2026 Premock examinations. So let's go and begin with item 1. So we go directing. So let us move. Item 1. Anita and Betty are sisters who visited their parents on 2nd March 2026. On that day, Anita resolved to always visit their parents every after 5 days, while Betty resolved to always visit them every after 8 days. However, Anita is wondering whether they can ever visit their parents together in the near future for purposes of organizing a party for them. Anita is twice as old as Betty. They have both agreed to contribute their party in the ratio of their ages. Betty found out that she will contribute 650,000 Ugandan shillings. Anita has to borrow 30% of her contribution, which she had to withdraw from her bank using a 4-digit PIN in base 5 after converting 179 base 10. So, task: help Anita to determine the date in the near future on which they can hold the party. Determine the amount Anita borrowed. Help Betty to find the actual 4-digit PIN to use. So basically that's what we had. And now definitely we go to solutions, direct solutions. So part A, help Anita determine the date in the near future on which they can hold the party. So since on that day, Anita resolved to always visit every after 5 days. Betty resolved to always visit after every 8 days. It means there will be that common day when they will both visit together. And this common day is going to be obtained by using LCM. So we shall list multiples of 5 and multiples of 8, and we shall pick the lowest common multiple. So multiples of 5 are there: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. Multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, etc. So if you can check, you will notice that out of the multiples of 5, this 40 here and this 40 here is the first common multiple, and therefore will be considered to be the lowest. So we shall say the first common multiple is 40. Alternatively, you can use ladder method to determine this LCM. You draw the ladders. I saw many students make mistakes here. When you are finding LCM of two numbers, we use prime factorization. This is called prime factorization. The first prime number is always 2. So after writing your 8 and 5 here, you don't directly divide by 5. I saw some people directly starting with 5, others with 8. No, start by dividing by 2. Then you for 8 divided by 2 gives you a 4. Then 5 divided by 2 is not possible. You write it. Then still we can divide by the first prime number, which is still a 2. We again divide by 2 because 4 is divisible. When you get 4 divided by 2, you get 2. 5 divided by 2 is not possible. You will maintain it. Then out of the 2 and 5 which we have here, it is still possible to divide by 2, since there is one number that is divisible. So you divide by 2, 2 divided by 2, you get 1. 5 divided by 2, you get 5, because it is not possible. Now our next prime number, which we should use here, would be 3. But because out of these two numbers, there is no any number that is divisible by 3, we now switch to the next prime number, which is say 5. So one number is divisible, so we shall divide by 5. 1 divided by 5 is not possible with time. 5 divided by 5 will be 1. So after generating 1, 1 for both the numbers, then you can definitely get LCM by multiplying all these prime factors together. So we shall definitely say LCM is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, which is 40, like we had it before. So this directly means that they will next visit together after 40 days. And that will be 40 days after 2nd March 2026. So now what we are going to do, we are going to add 40 days to the 2nd March and we see the exact date where we shall be. But keep in mind, you need to be in knowing how many days are in March. The number of days in the month of March is 31. So after 2nd, we shall end March. The month of March will end after another period of 29 days. And only 11 days will be remaining. So we shall say days left in March after the 2nd will be 29 here, 29 days, and then we shall get the remaining days, 40 minus 20, which is 11. So these days will go into the next month, which is April. So 11 days in April tells us that we are on 11th day of April 2026. So 40 days after 2nd March is 11th April 2026. Then you conclude that they can hold the party on 11th April 2026. So that was part A. We come back to part B. Part B is here. They are saying determine the amount Anita borrowed. Determine the amount of money Anita borrowed. So amount of money Anita borrowed. You come back to the scenario. They are saying Anita is twice as old as Betty. They have both agreed to contribute to the party in the ratio of their ages. Their contribution is in the ratio of their ages, and Anita is twice as old as Betty. So now we can look at the ratios. If the other one is twice the other one, if the other one is 1, the other one becomes 2. So the ratio will be 2 to 1 for Anita and Betty. So Anita is twice as old as Betty. Their contribution ratio becomes 2 to 1. So we are provided with Betty's contribution. They are saying Betty found out that she will contribute 650,000 Ugandan shillings. And remember, Betty is contributing one part, whereas Anita contributes 2 parts. So if one part is 650,000, then Anita's contribution will be 2 parts, and that will be equivalent to 2 times 650,000, which is 1,300,000. And they are going ahead to say the amount of money that Anita borrowed is 30% of her contribution. So she had some money, but she had to borrow 30% to make a complete amount for contribution. So the amount borrowed is 30% of her contribution. So that's why we are getting 30% times the amount of contribution, and this makes it 390,000. Clearly indicating that Anita borrowed 390,000 shillings. Lastly, we go to part C. Help Betty to find the actual 4-digit PIN. If you come back to the scenario where they are talking about the PIN is here, where they are saying, and check clearly, they are saying Anita has to borrow 30% of her contribution, which she had to withdraw from her account using a 4-digit PIN in base 5 after converting the 179 base 10. So basically, to get this PIN, we convert this one to base to the base 5, and automatically we shall be able to get the answer. the value of this one in base 5 makes the pin. So let's go. We shall draw these lines and we shall divide by 5. You get 35. You record the remainder. Remainder is 4. Then you again divide by 5. You get 7. Remainder is 0. 7 divided by 5. You get 1. The remainder is 2. Then after that, you can record the remainders to represent the number in base 5. So we shall read 1. Shall read the 1, 2, 0, 4 as the number in base 5. So the 4-digit pin is 1204 in base 5. That marks the end of this solution to item 1. I thank you so much.